Okay guys, well this is a Mystery Teachings research notes, the real 13 tribes of Israel, decoding religious art symbolism. Now this is a follow-up video to the video that we did in regards to decoding these two paintings. Now one's called the Ghent altarpiece and the other one I'm not quite sure yet of the title. But when we have a look at the Ghent altarpiece, we see some very interesting patterns starting to form when we start to look at this with a different perspective. And as I mentioned in the last video, it looked to me like this was a mouth and that this could be the pineal gland, third eye, under Ketha, emanating down through the Messiah, the Lamb of God, the tribe of Dan, into the Ark of Covenant, down through, and then we've got the spouts of the four messiahs into 8, and then it expands out from there on. And I have explained the decode in the last video, so I would definitely recommend that anyone that's just finding this video now go back and have a look at all of the previous videos in regards to decoding the 13 real tribes, or you will not understand how I'm coming to my conclusions, and so therefore you will not understand how to look at these pictures properly. So the whole idea of looking at this information is to learn it, not to just look at it as though it's interesting. Okay? You need to look at it and learn from it, because you are consciously expanding when you do. And by consciously expanding, you are also now consciously expanding the collective, because this is how it works, like the neurons snapping to to the next one, to the next one. Think of it that way. And so even just by being exposed to this information consciously, without even having a full understanding of it, is better than not even understanding or seeing it at all. And so I would really recommend that if we want to illuminate the collective, we need to all do our part. And that means sharing this information, whether it be in the way that I have done the video, or whether you have a way of looking at different pieces or looking at it and doing a video with the symbolism. But you have to stay to this information, or it just becomes speculation like everything else. You're moving away from the sacred mystery teachings. And so therefore they become corrupted. Okay? And so if people want to re-upload these videos uncorrupted, the information uncorrupted, then fine. Or if they want to do the information in their own way, but stay to the teachings, then I have no problem, and you are doing exactly what you should be doing. But it's when the information is taken and people want to cherry pick pieces out of it to suit their own theories, that it just corrupts the message, and we continue in this white noise, never really understanding who we are and just stagnating the collective. And so this is what standing in truth is. Standing in truth is that when you hear someone that isn't speaking truth, you don't just say nothing and go along with the collective because, you don't want to offend anybody, and you don't want to have an opinion, or you don't want to be judgmental, or you don't want to be in your ego. If you are playing along with the program and shutting down, you are also dimming your light. Because it's when you stand in truth for the glory of the divine mind that the divine mind illuminates, okay, and you become a conduit. But as I've said, you have to fully have an understanding for yourself, because it's not understanding this information that gives you this. It's understanding yourself, because it's when you apply it to yourself, to your reasoning, to your understanding, to your perspective of reality. That's when change comes. There's no external cleansing of the pineal gland, okay? You can do all that if you really want to benefit from it, perhaps in some ways physically. I'm not saying that that's not something that perhaps may be good, but I'm saying that's not the process that you find yourself and thyself through. And this is really what enlightenment is. Enlightenment just isn't going around and saying, I'm enlightened because I've read a few books and lived in India for 10 years and I meditate on the weekends and I go to, an ashram or wherever it is that you think that you're spiritually, expanding, you need to understand that the whole system has been corrupted and the whole message has been corrupted, and you have to go back to the beginning. And the beginning is sacred geometry and symbolism and patterns in nature. They're telling us a story of ourselves because we're part of it. And so it's up to us whether we want to have the will and desire to find ourselves, because there's a lot of people out there that are never going to find themselves. Okay, when the Keitha starts, moving in, this is going to play out on the people that don't understand who they are. Believe me, things are going to be changing as we move further into the ethereal. Now, I'm not giving time frames. I have no idea. But I know what is, transpiring right now, because I've been paying attention, and it is fitting in with all of the mythology and information that I am actually revealing. And so really it's only the people that have the understanding for this information on that profound level that really are going to benefit from it. The ones that just see it as entertaining, well, at least consciously you've been exposed to this information, so you have done your part for the collective, so I thank you for that. But if you really want to illuminate, well, you have to stand in your truth. It's not easy, and you have to tell people the truth. When you hear them speaking crap, you have to say, no, that's not true. This is true. This is what it is. Okay, and if they attack you and abuse you, well, that's their responsibility, not yours, and you are not responsible for their emotional reaction to the truth. Because people that are threatened by the truth are the most aggressive, violent, nasty people you will find. So this is why you need to be the soul that is on the strength card, holding the lion's jaws closed, okay, and standing in your truth no matter what. That's what you then, find your connection through to the divine mind, because you have accepted your divinity. And that's what it comes down to, accepting who you are. And when you do that on every level, that's when you start empowering yourself through your divinity and helping the collective. That's really helping the collective, not putting out some Facebook freaking memo saying we're all going to meditate at 6 o'clock on Saturday night for Mother Earth. Please everyone join in. No, that's not helping. That's stagnating the collective. What you can do is actually take this information and say, we're going to have a discussion group about the information that we're unveiling and revealing about ourselves. Okay? This is what you guys have to do. Take this information and run with it. Not post pictures in the group and say, oh, Dee, what's this? Oh, Dee, what's this? I mean, I have my own research to do, guys. Okay? I have my own path to follow. My own guidance system is taking me exactly where I need to be. And if you post something that the guidance system says, oh, have a look over here at what they've posted, then I will see what you've posted and it will become relevant to this information, and I will thank you for that discovery. And so this is what we all need to start doing, taking this information to empower ourselves, learning this information so that when you see these numbers, you automatically know what they mean. You automatically know what the lamb means. You automatically know what the 8 means. Okay? So you don't need to post the picture and ask me, because you know. You can actually post the picture and tell me. Tell me what you found. Don't tell me what you think because you've read it on some other blog or something, or it sounds good. I want to know what you found using the information that I'm teaching right now. That's how you benefit the collective, and that's how you really, really, really benefit yourself, like to the point of enlightenment, is expanding and seeking. This is why I never give you guys all the information, ever. Because I am not doing you any good by spoon feeding you. It's about you guys doing what David Torres has done and going and discovering this information for yourself, and not thinking it's more important that you have to, go and do this little thing over here that's all to do with the programming, or do this over here. This is important, okay? And so you have to make a decision about whether this is important, understanding who you are and applying yourself and becoming, the hermit, following the philosopher's path is not easy. It's excruciatingly painful. But if you want to find Ketha, your way back to Ketha, then that's what you need to do. You need to go up the gates and you need to look at everything within and you need to work through all of it and understand who you are by doing that and letting it go. Letting it go. Okay? It's only one incarnation. Let it go. It doesn't matter to the soul's journey. If your heart is a good heart, if you have good intent towards the collective, that is what it takes to illuminate. Okay? The giving of the information back to the collective, what David Torres is doing. And I really do hope that David starts up a group. And I'm not putting any pressure on David to go out and do this. This is totally something that will happen when David just organically begins to get his pattern recognition down more and more and put his eyes in more and more and discover more things. And then as he does, I'm quite happy to show you guys what he's finding and give you his group so that he can share them with you and he can actually help to start spreading this information out with more people as well. And so you can quite clearly see that this is just, absolutely perfect, all right? Right where the pineal gland third eye is, right under Ketha, all right there where it all comes down from, and this almost looks like Orion. I mean, I know it's not an exact match when you have a look, but I can tell you that this is exactly what he was aiming for, and maybe they just didn't have that full connection and they didn't quite always get it, but he was trying. He was definitely aiming for something, this guy, when he was putting this down on the canvas. And we can see that that flows down through the pineal gland third eye. And the reason that it's the pineal gland third eye, guys, is that we're speaking both of in the physical and the ethereal, okay? So it's just that the pineal gland and the third eye are the positions for this energetic point, okay? And we're both looking at them in the physical and the ethereal. We're taking note of both of our forms, because I think it really is important that we start acknowledging our ethereal side more, because that all comes into perspective then, and that all comes into consciousness then. And remember how I said it comes into being a knowing in you? It's just not even a question of whether you're ethereal or not. It's just a knowing. It's like the sun will rise in the morning. And that's what you have to have. That's your solid tower, guys, the ones I'm saying you've got to build. Because, I don't want to be negative, guys, but before everything plays out, it is going to be quite, a very dark time. And so you really do need now to build your inner sanctum, to build your tower, build your spirit, build your heart. You are being prepared right now. This is why this information is being revealed. And this is why not everyone is going to discover it. And not everyone is going to have taken that right door. And some people will take the right door and they'll find this information and they'll be so confronted by it or confronted by me, one or the other, that they will just dismiss this information, and this is when they've failed their test, because all they would have to do is just ignore me if they don't like me or they don't like the way I present information. Just go and look at the sacred geometry and look at the information and they would find it for themselves anyway. So this is why I know people that attack me don't understand the information, because there is no way you can debunk and attack the information. I have not been debunked yet, and I will not be debunked, because you can't debunk sacred geometry. That's why they used it, because they knew it never changes, and it's all what everything is basically from. It's the blueprint. And so great work, David, but it gets even better. David actually also found it in this piece here. Now, as I said, I'm not sure of the name of this piece, but this one almost needs its own video, because we actually see that when he's placed the body, the skeleton over, we see that he is positioned right where he should be for the pineal gland, third eye. Let's just have a look. Let's zoom in here as far as we can get. And we've got it right here, right where the lamb is, and even right here, okay, on the hand of the Messiah, the hand of Jesus with the lamb, with right there underneath. Okay, it's the same thing. It's just like Ketha and the third eye are the same thing, okay, because this is where we meet at the pineal gland. Third eye is where we meet God. It's where we become one. And so the other chakra of the crown is the other symbolism for that as well, so that they could encode it into the sacred geometry. They needed to be able to encode it all into the sacred geometry and leave it there for us in a way that we would understand again. So when you're seeing the third eye pineal gland, automatically think about the crown. Same, with the root chakra, and I'll go into more of this when I've got time. Think about the root chakra from the ankle to the bottom of the spine. Okay? So it's actually an extension. But I am still seeing the primary root chakra as the ankle, because this is how the ancient Egyptians show us, but it is attached to the end of the spine as well, because that is the energetic body along the spine. This is what Kabbalah says. And so this makes sense, that now we have a connection to the energetic body along the spine down to the root chakra at the ankle, so we don't suddenly just have this disconnection of energy and then this chakra point, and it makes a lot more sense that we can see it like that, the way that we're also seeing it this way. And it's almost, once again, we're seeing a mirror of Ketha onto Malkuth. And we know that that's what the Kabbalah Tree of Life shows us all the time, that there's a reflection going on there. And so we even see this in the way that our chakra system is, okay, presented to us in their in the chakra system, okay? So just have that as your mind's eye, in your perspective consciousness of the information. Because that's really what you're doing, okay? You're processing this and it's becoming part of you. And the more you're processing, the more it's becoming part of you. Now we know that we've got all the numbers that we need, okay? But look here, right at the throat chakra, what I was talking about, speaking your truth. Speaking your truth is where you find your immortality, okay? Speaking your truth is where you find your heart. That is why the heart was weighed against the feather of truth. It's truth. It's truth. It's standing up for the divine mind against the corruptors. It's truth. Okay, and not allowing them to continue, corrupting the purity of the message, okay, because that's what they're doing. I can't quite make this up because it's not a very good resolution, but it even looks like there's something on the nose there. So, there's definitely these connections. Now, it's really interesting. We've got right here is where the heart chakra is. And this is where she brings down the information from the Messiah's wisdom through the heart. And then she can actually have this understanding from wisdom as well. So it's all through the heart, because remember, when we're giving, we're receiving as well. And so it's illuminating us. And so it's even showing that it's done through the heart. Okay, the exchange of information is through giving. And this is when it becomes pure information, just in the giving of it as well. Now, what else is interesting about this is that they've got the eagle, the tribe of Dan is also symbolic here with the eagle. But look where they've got this little red ribbon key. It's a key actually, or it's some type of tassel. I'm not sure. It's not a key, it's some red tassel that it's holding. Well, that's right on the rib. Well, guess where the female is manifested in the physical? Okay, from the male for the first time onto foundation. From the divine mind. Well, it's through the side of man, through the rib. We know the story. Now, it did show it was on the other rib, so I went and had a look, and it seems it's interchangeable, because I found that the woman is coming out both sides. And we see here that the woman's coming out the side that it was shown over here. Okay, same side. And we see it as well over here. Same side. Okay? And this is the creation of the man. I think this is called as well. Or, sorry, I'm not sure. I know I should be getting these, but seriously, guys, so much research at the moment, and it just slows me down having to look up all these things. And I know that they're old paintings, and, you know, it's just a matter of finding the title. And sometimes that even actually adds into the information, the title of the piece. So, you know, I really do hope that people do take the time to go out and look for that, just even for their own curiosity, just as something to do and research. And so here's this one here. This is 12th century, guys. Okay? God creating Adam and Eve. And look, from the side, okay? All right? From that side. So here we go. Just again and again and again, we're seeing this information. Now we understand what it means, and it's not just this fairy tale. Then, you know, we can actually apply this knowledge now. Now, this is another one that I wanted to show you, because Danny Wilton actually discovered this, what these artists were doing with the human body, especially artists like Michelangelo. Okay, and there's other artists that he's found too. So if you're not aware of Danny Wilton's work, and I know a lot of you guys follow Danny Wilton that follow me too, and those of you that have found my work but haven't found Danny's, you really need to go and look at Danny's too, because his work is basically confirming everything that I'm finding now, okay? Everything that I'm finding and all the information is actually confirming what Danny was already finding last year, pretty much. Okay, and now, of course, you know, it's just becoming more polished because more information's coming through. But this is, you know, where we see that they're showing us the human brain, the skull. Now, why I found this so interesting is that we've got the pillar here, and we've also got the cross. And if you have a look over here on the Ghent art, please, probably won't see it too good on that one. Let's have a look over here. We can see they're holding a pillar. There we go. The angels are holding a pillar. And they're holding the cross on the other side. Or I like to see it as the Ankh too. I see it as the cross and the Ankh. And I think that there's some layered symbolism here. I think that when we see that is a some type of indication on the top that isn't just a straight up and down cross, we're looking at the Ankh, which is really speaking of our divinity. But I think the cross, first and foremost, actually symbolises the four messiahs, the four tribes, the four races. I think, and that coming from the Messiah, okay? And that's why the Messiah is crucified on the cross, is because the Messiah is how the everything is manifest through the first Messiah, the first begotten Son of the Father, which is the tribe of Dan, okay? Alrighty, well that's pretty much it. I haven't really found too much more. Oh, there was a little bit. I actually went and had a look and got, because I got really shocking resolution of this one. But this one, I wanted to see what was in the eyes, and I did find a bit more. So this one over here is 10, and we know that 10 is the Wheel of Fortune tarot card, God's law onto the physical plane, God's will, destiny, as well as like just God's force, you know. And they're holding the cross, okay? And then we've got these four over here. Now these are the four messiahs. And look at this. Look at their hand movements. Look at, we've got up the top here, tribe of Dan, the eagle. He's even doing the eagle symbolism, right? Then here we've got Judah. Judah with fire, the red, coming out here. And then we've got the bull's horns, right? Tribe of Ephraim. And look down the bottom, we've got the sphere and Reuben. Remember how I say Reuben is down the bottom and Kepha? Okay, so they're even showing, you know, Michelangelo is showing us here. And guess what? We've got these four heads just here, like these random like heads. And I think that they are the four females that haven't yet manifest, you know, that they're just the potential, or there's some just indication of them there too. But that's definitely the four male messiahs you are looking at right there. And then on this side, and interestingly, we know that the left is normally the sun and the right is moon. Now, I know that sometimes they will change that and interchange that. They do that sometimes with the symbolism. But with most of the symbolism, you will see that that's how it is, okay? So it's basically the males on the left and the females on the right. It can be interchanged, but normally if you're already starting to see that type of symbolism, then I'm going to start going with that too, because now we're seeing the pillar. And I like to equate the pillar to the female, because when you actually see the Freemasonry diagrams, they're actually holding a book on the pillar, and the female is reading the book. So that's what's giving me the idea of the pillar. But there could be other layered symbolism within that. That's just the one connection I've got to a single pillar, because other than that, we normally see the double pillars, you know, on Solomon's temple and, you know, the other temples that they've got the pillars. But this one is one. So I think that this is relating to the female and that. And I can't remember how many were there. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that's the divine number. And I'm not counting the little figures. Sometimes, you know, of course, if you count the little figures, there's more information. But I normally just go for what they were trying to show us, because I think that that's what they probably really wanted it to be known to us. And I've noticed that my program is now upside down. What has happened halfway through this recording? Well, I hope it hasn't stuffed anything up in the recording of this, because now my program is showing my timer at the top. Okay, that's new. But anyway, this is pretty much it, guys. As I said, you know, I really would recommend checking out Danny Wilton's channel and more of the matches that he's found, because he's been doing this for quite a while now, and he has quite a huge collection of the matches that he's made. So, I mean, really, I mean, what do we have to keep doing before people start taking this seriously? Because it seems that the information is now confirming all the matches as well. So, as I said, guys, it's just a matter of everyone actually understanding this information profoundly. And when you do, you'll start realizing that it's all about the inner journey. And so, I will leave it here. And as always, guys, peace out.